You want to sell your house and downsize during your retirement? Sounds good. So I looked into two options for selling my house and downsizing. There are two options that I looked at. One is tiny house living. I'm sure you've seen it, it's all the rage. And I also looked into selling my house and moving overseas. I'm sure you've seen a lot of people do this. And here's what I found out and why I'm not going to do either of those things. I did the research, so you don't have to. The first thing I did was compare the pros and the cons of keeping my house or selling it. First, that's the first thing. The pro of keeping my house is that it's completely paid off. I live in Texas, so they give you the option to not pay your property tax. You can defer your property tax till until you sell your house or until you die. And I thought, sounds good to me. When I first retired, that was $5,000 a year. That sounded like a great vacation. So I did that. I also live in a very safe community. It's gated and my neighbors look out for me and it's very quiet. It's very peaceful. I had a house prior to this and it was very noisy, but I loved the house, but it was in the airport flight path and I had to sell it. The cons of moving that I need help. I need help with all of this house. It's too big for me. The utilities are very high and I'm sure you've read about all of the data centers that are going up all over the country, and there are a lot in Texas, and it's going to make the electricity costs even higher. And this I fear the most because they're pretty high right now. Home insurance last year, what did it like doubled last year. And I searched high and low for the cheapest home insurance I could find, and I said to them, I just want insurance if my house burns down. That's all I want, and nobody has that. So I paid the price last year and I paid for it, and I'm not doing it again. If those prices are still this way for next year, I'm not paying it. I'm going to take my chances. Let's look at the pros and cons of tiny homes. The pros on a tiny home for me would be that it would be paid off. I would sell my house and take that money and buy a tiny house. And there would be no property taxes on it. Tiny homes are 400 square feet. You don't pay property taxes on those. The tiny house communities that I've looked at are in Texas, and a lot of them are in very safe, gated communities, which I really liked a lot. And the cost to upkeep the tiny house is very low. You usually only have to pay for electricity and internet because they handle the water and the sewer and all of that. And so you have such a small square footage to heat and to air conditioner that it's pretty inexpensive. And then there's no maintenance. I don't have to pay anybody to mow the lawn because they do it. And also, because it would be a brand new house, I wouldn't have to worry about the air conditioning breaking or the heating breaking or anything major happening expense wise. The cons of living in a tiny house. This is what stopped me. Well, a few things stopped me, but one is the less space. You have to do some serious downsizing. And I could do that too. I could make that work. There are a few things that bother me that the houses are so close together. I think of living in a tiny house and you're looking out the window at a prairie or massive field. No, you're going to have a tiny house next to you on each side. So forget privacy. And on top of that, I have a funny feeling that the people in these communities want to be chummy. And that's great if you want to be chummy. But I don't like nosy neighbors. I don't want anyone knowing all of my business. It's great to have friends in a community, but at a distance. And those people seem to be all up in your business about everything you do. I don't like that. Another thing that would be inconvenient is these communities are out in the country. They're far away from cities. So just to go grab something that you need could be a 20, 30-minute drive. And I'm a big proponent of having my stuff delivered to me. And I think that that might be hard, if not impossible, to achieve in a tiny home community. So, aside from all of that, I looked at the cost. My electricity bill in my current home, if I'm lucky, it's $210 a month. It's usually more, but on average for the entire year, that's what it is. I have a homeowners association, which is $25 a month. My water is every month for some reason is $35 a month. It always has been. My insurance is up to 200 plus dollars a month. The maintenance on my house, I pay to have my grass cut now. I can't do that. So I pay $90 a month. And I save $100 a month for any future maintenance that may be needed. So my housing costs are $650 per month. Then I did a little budget for tiny houses and I checked around all the lot runs on tiny house communities, and they vary from $750 to $975 just to put your tiny house in their community. The electricity is very reasonable there. You could do it for 40, 60, and high season 90 at most per month. And if you wanted house insurance, there it would be very inexpensive, $50 to $80 a month. So everything, what water's included, sewer's included, garbage pickup is included, but the total for that is $953, which is $400 more that it would cost me to live in a tiny house versus stay in my own house. So that's not going to work for me. So wait, there's more. What if I sell my house and I move to a foreign country and I become an expat? What about that? Well, I looked into it. I looked at Costa Rica, too hot. I looked at Mexico, no bueno. I looked at Bangkok, and they have some really nice living situations there for very cheap, but I don't want to live in a city, and I think it's very hot and humid there all year round. I don't think you get a break from that. So that didn't sound good. The Philippines just makes me laugh. I've looked at so many videos of the Philippines, and they're all from retired men my age, maybe older, that went to the Philippines and they found a 20 to 24-year-old girl, Filipino, and they married him. And that's what they do. They marry and these Filipino women are just into it. They've got somebody to take care of them. And these guys are all expats and they all hang together with their Filipino wives. And I just can't see myself fitting in with their group. So I ruled that out. But then I found an answer. I was so excited. I found a beautiful place. And it was like, oh my God, finally, this place, let me get my notes, is on a beautiful island. It has 4 mild seasons and it's dirt cheap. They love Americans. And there's a very strong expat community there. And there's no visa required. You just get off the airplane there and you're there. You can stay for a year. And if you decide you want to stay there after that, you just file for a residency program and you stay there. They also have a little ferry that you can take. It's a 20, 30-minute ferry you can hop on and it'll take you over to Greece. So you can explore Europe while you're there. And what is this beautiful place? It's Albania. Yes. I was going to go in this September. I had plans for my dog. I have a dog sitter, and I have it in the computer to notify me when the airline prices go down because I wanted to go for 2 weeks and keeping up with all of that. And then this happened. So that's not going to work. This stopped me dead in my tracks because if I'm going to leave the United States, I want to get away from rich globalists, snooty tourists, mega yachts, sailing by my view. No, no, not going to work for me either. So I hope Albania, and they deserve it. more than anyone else in this world. I hope they get their their country reclaimed. They've been through a lot. For me, I'm staying right here. I'm in a comfortable house with a comfortable life, and I'm going to stop daydreaming about being someplace else. My life is good, and Pam's retirement reset isn't resetting to another house or a location for a long, long. God bless you, and I'll see you soon.